Hello, hello. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Thank you for returning. Thank you for all your support. Can you believe it? We're already on update for, is it week 4? Oh my God, time is really flying by. So let's get going with the update. Let's see, this past week has been just amazing, really well. No food issues. There's not a whole lot to report, just chugging along, and I'm having more energy. Overall, I just feel good. I'm feeling really good. So, let's see, there were no struggles. I didn't have any cravings, so yeah, everything's just been really, really good. I showed you guys each day what I was eating. I did not add anything new into my rotation. It's been basically the same foods. So we're going to actually cut over to the meal prep. Okay, here are some of the things I have meal prepped. Right here is some cauliflower rice, and this is the Cuban style cauliflower rice. And I have here some chicken breast. I have the Carb Master, the low carb tortillas. I have here the Thomas's English muffin. These are the 100 calorie ones. And here I cooked up some lean ground beef, and I have some egg whites. So these are some of the things I'm having. There may be things I may prepare in between, but for the most part, this is it. Okay, that's what I have meal prepped. And so that's gonna be for the excuse me. I showed you guys what I ate last week. I meal prep for this week. I'm getting all confused. So that's what I'm going to be having. If I add anything different or substitute anything, of course you will see it. And it more than likely, if I do that, it's not going to be anything that I haven't eaten already that my body is totally okay with. So that's that. I think if you watched my video from last week, I am actually working with kind of a health coach, to kind of guide me along a little bit. And they brought up, since things are, going in a good direction, to ditch the scale. Now, you've heard me say on here many times that scale is not the only determination of success if you're doing right. It's just one of the tools. So for me, when they said that, I don't know why, in my head it was just like, oh my God, no scale. And to be fair, I haven't been basing everything solely off of a scale anyway, but the fact that she said, oh, why don't you just get rid of the scale for a while and just see how it goes and just measure. And if you want to, sure, test your blood sugar and ketones and blah, blah, blah. But just see how you do without the scale. And for some reason, it was almost like in the back of my head or something, I went into panic mode or something. So that's just how I think ingrained it is on us, that scale is the end all be all of every single thing. And it's not, it's just one tool that you can use for progress. So I'm wrapping my head around that. And while they did say to kind of be cognizant and just kind of get rid of the scale and not so much free flow, but not put a whole lot of emphasis on it, I did do a final weigh-in. And we are going to break right into it. So you saw, well, let's see, the week before that, I want to say I was 169, and previous it was 168, and I had went up by 1 pound. And I said then that I was totally unbothered by that 1 pound. Everything else was going in the right direction as far as measurements. So that 1 pound I wasn't even worried about. So you can see here, there was a drop again. So, you know, it's still going in the correct direction. So it's not like, again, it's not a whole lot of, I guess, updating for me to do. It's just more for me, I think, a mindset. And what I mean by mindset is because I had been doing a very low carb diet for so many years. I mean, I'm going to say it's been 7 years, probably, between doing mostly keto, 90%, and then like kind of low carb, very low carb. So the mindset is, again, my brain, my brain thought, my patterns of, oh my God, this is a lot of carbs. Oh my God, getting freaked out. But I am not eating the processed carbs. So the carbs that I do eat is still like what I would eat a lot is on when I was doing a ketogenic diet. I lean heavily on cauliflower and broccoli. Now I did add in what I found was some really okay noodles, a little bit of regular rice, but when I do the regular rice, it's hardly ever over 30 grams at one time. Hardly ever. I think the highest I ever went might have been 35. I did experiment with the English muffins, and it was okay. I actually had to do my I did my blood sugar. I don't want to add in foods just to be adding in. I want to make sure if I'm adding it in, first, I like it. Secondly, it's not adversely affecting my body. So that's another rule too. So with taking all that into account, the foods that I'm now eating is fine. I have enough in rotation. Will I be adding some things? Like I said, next week, not so much, no. I'm going to be taking off, going to California. So maybe when I get back, the week after that, we might play with adding one thing. And I say one thing at a time. That way, if I'm continuing to eat the same things and I know they don't bother me, if I'm adding in just one thing, and of course there'd be a fluctuation because the body isn't used to it. But then if I continue to do it and it keeps fluctuating and staying up, then it signals to me that there could be a problem that maybe that's something my body just don't want to deal with. So I'm being very cognizant of that. I'm also cognizant of the fact, like I said, since I was ketogenic for a long time, I'm not trying to flood my body with a whole lot of carbs. I am still under 100 carbs, even though it went up, quite a bit. And when it went up quite a bit, it was from all of my very low carb foods that I just ate a little bit more of. So I was not trying to send my body into shock from something I had been doing a long time to something new where my body's like going to freak out. I'm doing it in a very slow and intentional way for my body to get used to these things and used to digesting them and then using them for fuel and not just sitting and hanging on to my body, if that makes sense. So I think the way I'm approaching it is really good because when I first talked with a health coach, that was one of my big concerns. And they agreed, coming from where I came from for so long, to not just send my body into a shock with an onslaught of carbs and waiting for it to regulate. Because had I started off where they wanted me to start off, I think my body would eventually regulate it, but it would have took a while. And I think it would have freaked me out with the weight gain, the water weight gain, more than likely, where it would have stayed that way for a while. This way is kind of like, if it happens, I know it's happening because of something new, or if I have a weight gain. Well, I'm not going to really have a weight gain because I'm not eating enough to gain extra weight. I would say a fluctuation. It's due to maybe something I've eaten. And two, for me, I notice quite a bit if I do over 10,000 steps in a day, or if I go to the gym and go at it extremely hard and go increase weights, the next 2 to 3 days, my weight is up, then it stabilizes back. So that's just, with me paying attention and noticing my body and learning my body and how it reacts to different things. So when the scale goes up, sometimes it's not always such a bad thing, like, oh my God, you gained fat. Sometimes it is actually sometimes water weight. And that water weight can be from various things. It can even be that you didn't even, go to the bathroom and empty properly or something. So for me, I think too, just trying to do the whole no scale thing, it's going to be a challenge, but it is also going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I think I have this, and I will, of course, be taking you guys along for the journey and the ride. This is just another a phase in my journey. And so far, so good. I know there will be bad days, there will be good days, but you just keep chugging along. So with that being said, I'm going to close this video out and try to get it up for you guys. It's a little late, and I apologize for that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I will be seeing you next week. Bye-bye.